Has anyone noticed that most 2019 phones were all about cameras? Well, the Oppo Reno 2 is no exception. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is a review of the Oppo Reno 2. The device was released October 2019. In the box, you get of course the phone, the Reno 2, a power adapter, a Type-C USB cable, a headset which sits comfortably in your ear. To be honest, it looks like something I've seen before. You also get the document, that's the quick start guide, along with the Oppo Care warranty card. You also get the SIM card ejector and a leather-like phone case. When you turn the back of the device, you notice this nice blue reflective thing as you tilt the phone up and down. On the right side of the phone, you get the color indicator on the camera button / power button. Then on the left, you have the volume rocker. Below the device, you have the 3.5mm headphone jack. Thank God we still have that. The Type-C USB connector. That's the charging port with Voot charge and mono speakers. As they say, looks might be deceiving because honestly, the Reno 2 is a sleek and beautiful phone with 3D curved Gorilla Glass 6. But that's not why you click on this video. So let's get into the phone. The Oppo Reno 2 has a pop-up camera which gives you charge of almost every part of the screen. The Reno 2 has an AMOLED 6.5-inch multi-touch capacitive screen having a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels at 401 ppi density with 16 million colors. The regular brightness is 500 nits but can light up to 600 to 800 nits in outdoor mode, giving you a very clear and visible screen during the day and reduces the brightness at night to give you a better viewing experience. Talking about size, the Reno 2 is 160mm long, 74.3mm wide, 9.5mm thick, and 93.1% screen to body ratio, weighing 189 grams. The device has a quad camera setup of 48 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 13 megapixel, and 2 megapixel, which is embedded below the glass, so you have a nice finish and no protruding camera like you will find on most recent devices. The front-facing camera is a whopping 16 megapixel and it has no flash on the front, while on the back we have a flash, that's a dual LED flash on the back. The first camera is a 48 megapixel ultra clear Sony IMX586 camera with f1.7 aperture. Other features of this camera are digital zooming up to 20x. You can zoom up to 20 times. It has AI noise reduction, OIS, that's the optical image stabilization. It also has AIS, that's the electric image stabilization. Second, we have the 8 megapixel wide angle lens of 116 degrees, meaning you cover more areas in your pictures. The third camera is a 13 megapixel telephoto wide lens, f2.4 aperture with autofocus capabilities for your bokeh, that's a portrait as a lot of people know it. Then lastly, we have the 1.75 micrometer large pixel 2MP mono lens, which shoots in portrait mode 2.0. Photo editing mode is also available, and this device shoots nice photos at night with the ultra dark mode. For the video, the front facing camera shoots at 1080p by 720p at 30 frames per second. It is also the first pop-up camera with a bokeh effect. Then the rear camera supports, that's the back camera, it supports up to 4K at 30 frames per second, which is very okay considering the price point. Also 1080p at 60 frames per second and also at 30 frames per second. That's, you can choose to shoot at 1080p at 60 frames or you can choose to shoot at 1080p at 30 frames. It also shoots 720p at 60 or 30 frames per second. It has the ultra steady video which supports 1080p at 60 frames per second and also a video dynamic zoom which supports 1080p at 30 frames per second. The Reno 2 is powered by a Qualcomm SDM730G and Adreno 618 GPU. It has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage with microSD option of up to 512GB. The device runs on the Oppo's Color OS, that's the 6.0 Color OS, based on the Android 9 Pie. The battery is a 4000 mAh non-removable battery powered by the Oppo's Voot 3.0 charge, which gets you 51% charge in 30 minutes. Wow, that's a lot. You get 13 hours of video playback and can last up to a whole day on minimum usage. As connectivity concerns, the Reno 2 has GSM, WCDMA, LTE-FDD and LTE-DDD of different bands, and the device can alternate between two Wi-Fi networks at the same time. Did I mention that the fingerprint sensor of this device is embedded under the display? Yes, it is actually, and this is a welcome development. I know it will be hard for a lot of people to get used to, but then this is the future. As they say, the future is now. The Reno 2 supports dual nano SIM, OTG, NFC, and a Bluetooth 5.0. Every device has GPS built in, so you expect to see that. Down to the matters of the pockets. The Reno 2 cost around $175,000 to $179,000, which is around $500 and is available in two colors: the ocean blue and the luminous black, which doesn't really look like a black because it has a lot of blue shades around it. And the ocean blue, doesn't really look like blue. It looks greenish blue, I guess, but you get to see for yourself. And you have other color option if you're purchasing this device from other parts of the world. In my own opinion, sizing this phone with other devices of this that has the same features or similar features but are more expensive, I'd say the price is a little bit fair. Do you think this is an amazing phone? Do you think there should be more? Do you feel it's the perfect phone for pictures and videos at this price point? Feel free to express yourself in this comment section below, and be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you see my latest updates. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.